intentionally make every day like valuable to you. Eat a meal you like, talk to someone you like and feels anakufeel kapi yako. Say something positive to yourself. Look at the environment you're in. How much is it feeling into you? Do you love the curtains you have in the house? Do you love the table or the seat you're sitting in? Hata kama you don't like it, you're doing something to sit in a couch you like. Ukiingia kwako, you're like, my heaven, right? Yeah. If it's someone in the house that is making you upset, could be a partner or a sibling, have a conversation with them. These things you do that don't make me happy, and I'd want you to make an improvement on them. Make sure the place you're coming back to environmentally is fulfilling for you. When the world is beating you out there, do you have a safe haven to come back to? Look for that.
Saseni, mkofiti. Manze nimewa miss. Manze nimewa hata. Can you believe that sai we are done with the first 6 months? Like, done with the first 6 months. So, happy new month to you. Welcome back for Cele's Reflection. Nimewa hata, as usual, nimewa miss. And today, I feel like today's episode is so much needed. As we move into the next 6 months of the year, tumeanza July, baridi kiasi. We need to feel like tunaachana na vitu za, okay, si kuachana per se, but we need that energy to start the next 6 months. So today, we are having a therapist on set. So come please, come closer. Come, please, just give me the next 30 minutes. The next 30 minutes too. We are having a collective therapy session. Yes, for all of us as a nation. Please come. So we have a therapist on set, and we need to unpack. We need this space. This is a safe space for you guys today. Cele's Reflection ndio kona yetu leo sasa. Hapa ndio nyuma ya tent, tafadhali. Tupatane hapa for the next 30 minutes to unpack, to unwind, tupumue, to feel like tumeachilia, you know? There's a lot of things happening in this country. Like, you're frustrated every minute. Unaona hizo comments tunapatana ngazo unaingia tu another day to get mad, another day to, you know what? So today, those frustrations aside, I know we are bitter with our leadership, you know. Nataka tu aka 30 minutes tu tukue tuna ka therapy session. At least tupunguze hizo mizigo, you know. If you get what I'm saying, please sit down, get a notebook if you need to, ama your notes ya kitabu, ama your iPad, ama whatever it is you need, just for the next few minutes. So as we get to discuss some of these things that are affecting us. Yes, and I'm sorry, sometimes I talk too much, but nilikuwa nataka ni-emphasize why we need this session. Then now we can introduce our guest, guys.
Definitely.
Yeah, so karibu sana.
Thank you so much.
Feel free to introduce yourself.
Sure.
I know you resonate what I'm saying at
Definitely.
least.
Oh my God.
Good.
100%.
Thank you. So introduce yourself.
All right.
Alafu tunaweza anza.
All right. Thank you so much, Cele.
Karibu.
And thank you team. Saseni mkoaje? Hata mimi niko poa. Ya juju niko poa. My name is Shalom. I'm a counseling psychologist, currently practicing with one of the leading level 5 psychiatric facilities. So that tells you I've been on the ground. I see what it looks like. But other than that, I'm a believer of Christ. I'm a mom, I'm a wife, and a beloved daughter, I'd say. And most importantly, I'm a lover of life, so passionate about mental well-being. So thank you. You're in for a treat.
Thank you so much. I love that. You're a lover of life. We all love our lives. Like, yani, kila mtu anatamani tu, you know, beautiful life, soft life, if I may say.
Sure.
But let me start by saying, we are not okay. I am not okay. I don't know about you. I don't know. Are you okay? Ebu tuambie hapo kwa comments. Are you okay? We are not okay. And I feel like it's okay to accept that we are not okay.
Sure.
Recently, I did an episode of... I asked people on I think a month ago, kwa Instagram, how are you feeling mentally? Where are you? 90%
Right.
hawako sawa. And that's why I'm saying we are not okay, and we understand our hearts are we are carrying heaviness in our hearts.
For sure.
We are carrying heaviness in our hearts because of
For sure.
everything,
Mm-hmm.
everything that is happening. And that's why I say today, maybe tukianza July, baridi kando, can we just have this session
Sure.
where we are going to just unpack and understand our emotional, our mental well-being, tupunguze vitu kiasi, and breathe a little. So maybe for a start, maybe from your perspective, what are some of the things that you're seeing, some mental patterns that you're seeing amongst people that can tell we are not okay?
Oh, nice. That's a nice place to start. Where do I start? First, I will start with the most common thing that links us together. That will be social media, just for a start. Whether I'm in Western Kenya or Kisumu or Tanzania even, but I'm a Kenyan, I will always know how someone is feeling, what's in their thoughts by just the things they post, how they reach out to me, that's individually, and even just the kind of content they are sharing at that time. Right now, if I scroll through social media right now, whether it's Facebook, Instagram, X, WhatsApp even, you will see someone sharing something relevant to the nation or a thought that they have. Or a nice thing. Yeah. So that's the first place to begin to know how someone is doing mentally. So as a nation, how are we doing?
We are not.
90% of us are sharing something very, in what I'd say, negative. And that means that's the first place to start. Number 2, every time I ask, uko aje? Normal answer is to say niko poa. But if I really ask, even without even having to follow up that question, nitaskia niko poa, but ile deal haikuingiana, or financially by then iko pabaya, or why do you look so happy? Ni kama sahi uko, you're doing better. So someone will always speak or judge just from the way you're looking. Maybe you're not feeling the same way as I am. So they are curious to know ni nini you're doing to look like you're having it all together. Or beyond the answer niko poa, why have you been so lost? Or why are you nowadays so quiet? Or nowadays unapiga sherehe sana, uko sawa kweli? So that will be the second thing, the response or the behavior that someone is showing. And then the third thing, how many of us have been trying out new things that they haven't been doing before?
Like me.
Yeah.
Nowadays I run. I'm a marathoner.
Oh, nice.
You're seated next to a marathoner.
Sure.
That tells what?
That tells me there's something that has triggered you to want to invest in yourself. These people, it's normal to feel like umekujua mtu for some time, and then all of a sudden uko like amechange. Kuna vile siku hizi something has changed about Cele.
Anapati sana,
anakimbia sana, ama ameanza kuhang out na watu wengine wanakaa watu serious for life, or ni kama ametuacha sisi, kwani aliona sisi hatuko serious for life. So how much has your behavior changed over time? That tells me how you're doing.
So it can either be positive, negative.
Or negative, correct. Yeah. Change of behavior.
Okay. So I feel like I can say collectively, as now this therapy session, it's like all of us are exhausted. Most of us are exhausted. Because everything you're mentioning, ni kitu naweza kupointia. Nimekupoint already kama mimi I'm doing something new. For the last 30 years sikuwa nakimbia. Now I've signed up to every marathon. Of course, I have my reasons to it. Maybe I feel better. I'm enjoying getting the medals. So venye tu unasema, behavioral changes ziko kwa wingi. So it's like we're exhausted. So where does that take us?
That takes us to the place where it's no longer a collective responsibility. It is, what am I doing for myself? Why am I still in that friend group? Kama si feel valued? Why am I still having this belief if I don't feel fulfilled in life? Why are you changing this behavior at this point in life? What are you doing for yourself? It gets to a point where it stops being the nation, serikali's idea. It stops being my mom didn't do this for me, or niko in a very abusive, toxic relationship. It stops being there. It starts with, what are you doing for yourself? So what are you really doing for yourself? Things are bad. everywhere. It's not even just in Kenya. Everywhere, the world is fighting itself. The superpowers are fighting themselves. What are you doing for yourself? What are you allowing to be the thoughts in your mind, to dominate your mind, to influence your emotions, to influence the choices you're making for yourself? What are you choosing to keep?
So it stops being a collective exhaustion.
Yes.
It's now, what are you doing for yourself? At what point do you, at what point can I say that now I'm having a mental shutdown?
Nice.
So because now it has stopped being, we are still having that therapy session pamoja, collective therapy session. But now at what point now you've taken us to from a group to per person?
Me.
Yes, me. So at what point do I start feeling like now I'm having a mental shutdown?
Things to look out for. Mood dysregulations. How irritable have you become? How often do you scroll through social media? How often do you have a conversation with people? How often do you listen to the radio and just think, this life? Mood dysregulation. How irritable do you feel? Number 2, of course, we've talked about change of behavior. What are you doing and what would justify that is a good thing or a bad thing? What's the difference between self-care and just an avoidance strategy? That would be another thing to look out for. Are you able to tell what is self-care for you and what is just a defense mechanism that you're just using to hide away from how you feel, or the things, a coping mechanism, right? What is it that you're doing? That would talk about change of behavior. Number 3, sleep patterns. We neglect how important sleep is.
Yeah.
Ideally, you're supposed to sleep what? 4 to 6?
6 to 7?
24-hour economy, you're supposed to sleep 6 hours, actually. 6 hours. How is your sleep patterns? What do you have to do to be able to sleep better? Number 2, what are your thought patterns? Thought patterns would reflect as dreams. Are you able to remember your dreams? The content of your dreams also tells you how you're doing. How often are you running away from something? How often are you having a bad dream, for example, a nightmare, what we'd call a nightmare? How often are you doing that? Sleep patterns. Are you able to initiate sleep, or do you have to find yourself sleeping at 1 a.m. because you're not able to find sleep? And when you sleep, what is the quality of that sleep? Are there nightmares? Is it breaking patterns of sleep? Imagine that's important when you're looking at your mental well-being.
Aki, you're telling us so much. Yani, I'm
Imagine that's
thinking
important.
if I was taking notes, I'm like, oh my God, I need to write this so that later I can sit down and reflect. How is my sleeping pattern?
How is your sleeping pattern?
If I don't remember what I dreamt last night,
that is okay. It's normal to not remember what you dreamt of, but I'm looking at this point. You will know if you had a good sleep.
Oh, yeah.
How do you wake up feeling? Are you exhausted?
No.
Do you want to sleep? Do you wake up and feel, I wish I didn't have to go where I'm going right now? I would have slept.
Tired.
Spent the entire day just in bed, lazing. It tells you you're not getting quality sleep. And there's a possibility something is off with your mental well-being.
Okay. Where? Session. Class in session, as Philip would have said. Hapa tuko therapy in session. There is where you said the coping mechanism. Are we doing these behavioral changes because we are coping, because we are running from something? I really want us to dig deeper, because there are things that are happening right now in our society where we find ourselves that we are many. So we are many. So collectively we are exhausted. But then we meet somewhere where I feel like, hey, let me give an example. Memes. I love memes. Napenda memes sana. Unapata meme, unafikiria hii meme ni mimi. Hii meme, wallahi huyu ni mimi. Na relate 100%. Some memes are very dark humor. Which we would love to laugh, but you are like, guys,
I can't.
This is
Nambogi kijua.
Hata siwezi repost.
Huwezi repost.
Cause is there a problem? Na feel ni kama hapo nataka because we really have, there are those that we relate and there are those that are dark.
Sure.
Which we relate, but unashindwa, how did we get here? Dark jokes. Tuna relate haraka aje hivyo.
Then that tells me ni stigma. You're fearing stigma. If I mean, the places we belong to, sini sense of belonging. Our family, mabishte wetu. Yeah, it's a sense of belonging. So why would you hold back from reposting that?
It's very dark.
Sure. So there's stigma. You're afraid of what
No,
people will
but
think,
actually,
or
yeah,
the
of
fact
course,
that
people will ask me questions. Are you
yeah,
okay?
sure.
Yeah, so I'm afraid of that.
Yeah.
But now my question is: this community
Mm,
that is feeling fun or feeling like they are letting out, like they're unpacking through dark humor.
mhm.
How about them?
It also tells us how they are doing mentally, because ndio mini relate, it means someone has had the courage to say it. And that's the
Exactly.
first
Something
thing.
that we wouldn't say, something that I
Yeah.
can't tell you here,
Yeah, sure.
but I can write it in a meme.
Of course, yeah. So it tells you it's a fear of stigma. It's like a form of social anxiety where you're like, if people find out nafikiria hivi, but kuna wale we are so used to them, it's their personality.
So we just
Unajanga
talk.
kuna that person in your community, ka social circle, unajanga that person always is just so blunt. They just say things the way they want to say them, and we've acknowledged hivyo ndivyo wako. That's their personality. But what happens to us who are not able to have the courage to say it the way they say it? Then of course we rely on it's like we call mob psychology. We rely on those who are courageous enough,
the views, the likes, the
and
shares.
we're like, kumbe I'm not the only one feeling like this, but thank you to that person who shared it. Yeah, but also it tells you maybe why are you relating to it. It could be I'm relating to it now because of the state I'm in. Because one thing we didn't even mention is mental health changes. I can be okay right now, aware of everything behind me. I can be okay right now, but just one conversation or a thought, even because sometimes you're just randomly chilling and something just comes out of your mind and you're like, hey, that was somewhere hidden because it wasn't a pleasant memory to have or emotion or thought to have, and then somehow it just comes out. Situations can bring out some hidden things in us. So you realize why is it that you relate to it now because of the times and the things that are happening
currently, yeah.
Or you've always been like this. It's just dark humor, you've always kept it for yourself. Or you have communities where you can ukisema no one would really
care, bother.
It's something off, but they're used to you being like that. So maybe look at it from those two aspects. Is it that it's the situation or you've always been like that?
I love that you've mentioned, because last week we had a therapist as well who told us the same thing you've said.
Yeah.
Because he was saying you might be okay right now.
Yeah.
Then when you get home, you realize hauna funguo za hao. Then ukasirike, ujam.
Yeah, sure.
So you are okay. You're not bad. But so that this small thing has triggered everything. Now it looks... Yeah, so I love that. Those two are in sync. Yeah. So now the other thing is, sasa sahi tumesema we are moving collectively. But then at what point... what are some of the signs that I'm beginning to lose hope? Because this group that you have said, social media, and I love that you're also using social media. We're on YouTube right now.
Sure.
So at what point do I start to... there are signs that this person is hopeless completely?
Yeah.
This person has given up. Because I might share a meme, like the feedback I got from most people was, I'm unemployed. Sina kazi. Sina kazi. So unajua kuna msee hana kazi but ako hopeful.
Yeah, sure.
Kuna mahali itatokea, nitapata, I'm still looking for work. So nitapata tu siku yake ikikam.
Sure.
But kuna msee ali give up completely.
Yeah.
So some of those signs that we may overlook. You may overlook because beshte yako yeye anakanga fiti nini, but hope kwake hakuna completely.
Signs to look out for. How do I know someone is really losing it completely? That's the question.
Yes.
How do I know someone is losing it? One, risky behaviors. Mkienda, one thing in a clinical practice, of course we deal with addictions, we deal with depression, all mood disorders, affective mood disorders. You realize someone has a shift. Sometimes you feel like I couldn't tell this person was suicidal, but there are hints that this person said things that actually meant they have been suicidal, even for a very long time. Tumesema we could look at it as it's dark humor, but then you realize this person has always been saying things like that, but it's also followed by very risky behaviors. Whether it's drinking, where you're just like, I think I just want to drink and drown and just die. I wish hata nipite tu hapa, a car hits me. I wish I sleep and never wake up. It's risky behaviors that can be verbally articulated or their actions show that. It's someone you've been, it's our family members. I mean, say unemployment has come even close to home.
Us,
It's not
kabisa.
like yule anko yangu. No. It
Mm-mm.
could be even my sibling or even my mom,
Mm.
my parents maybe. It's so close. So with unemployment and the economy is doing bad, and I mean just the world, man ukiamka hivi you wonder what is there to smile about.
Nothing.
That's just the reality.
Nothing.
Even iko job, but whatever I'm getting
your
is just
job.
barely meeting my needs.
That's
So
true.
risky behaviors. How often do you feel that you've been turning into things that are just, whether it's your thought patterns or behavioral, that just, you are contemplating death? I wish I don't see beyond this. That could be one of the things. How else do I know? Loss of touch with reality. Saa zingine you've been talking to someone and then you realize their thoughts are becoming illogical. Kuna vitu anaanza kuongea, they don't make sense. Loss of touch with reality. When someone goes through trauma, and trauma is both vicarious, ni experience the accident or the traumatic experience, stuff like that, or it's a toxic relationship. For example, even work employment nowadays is toxic. Lack of a job is toxic because you're unable to meet your needs. Anything can look toxic. But this is the thing that we're talking about. When you realize we all create a bubble for us to cope. And then you realize you've been in that bubble, that you have lost touch with reality. Either you're detached from emotions. I don't have a job. I'm not doing anything about it. I'll not do anything about it. Or I'm so into looking for a job that I'm so desperate to do things that would risk my behavior. And you lose touch with reality because you've created a world to cope. So it's like how you feel when you're having a euphoric feeling. That's what I'm talking about. Or your typical mad person in the street, laughing, fighting with things we can't see. That's what we call loss of touch with reality. It can happen, especially when you've been in a very unhealthy or straining space, that now you find you're looking for places to just find comfort, or it could be in your mind. So it's not things that are real. So it could also look like over spirituality. Have you met someone?
Actually, uko sando nilikuwa naelekea.
Over spirituality.
Because when we lose hope, we tend to find ourselves in places where people give us hope.
Yeah.
So we find ourselves mostly spiritual. That's where we tend to. And when you say someone is behaving in a way that you've lost touch with reality, you see a friend who alikuwa beshte yangu hata kanisa hakuwa anaenda, but sasa venye ameingia kanisa
kabisa,
ati hata sasa saa to apatikani. I'm not saying kanisa is bad, but I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to explain what I understand from what your statement. Because we've seen these people, mtu ako like, siku hizi uko church mbaya. Unashindwa. What is wrong? Something
by
is not
God's
okay.
grace.
Anaanza by God's grace. Ama anaanza mommy, daddy, mommy.
Yes.
Amezama.
Papa and mama.
Amezama. I'm like,
I
don't want to judge you, but something is
it's
off. You are not the same person. Hizo zenye umesema behavioral change. You would never be this person 5 years ago.
Yeah, sure.
So ni hope umeuziwa huko. So you've lost touch completely.
You've lost touch with reality, that now everything is overly spiritual. You know, in an African context, tukuje to Kenya, we are all raised up, all of us think we are Christians. In any documents, we either Christian or Muslim or whatever religion you affiliate to. But most of us, they say 80% of Kenyans are actually Christians.
Majority.
That is all, majority. That is all denominations are, what we call it? Specified, right? So you realize that's how people find themselves in what we call cults. Or you're practicing religion, but that's not religion.
Who are we to judge? So wacha tu tunyamaze.
But
nimekuget.
But that over spirituality, where you're sleeping hungry or giving every little thing you have to the church or to the man of God, and it's at the expense of your needs, your responsibilities, or even getting to a place where you're lazy.
This one was funny.
Okay, sure.
When they were being greeted, like, oh, she bowed down. Down literally. I actually thought she was fainting. Because alienda chini. I'm like, okay. Ni sawa, but lazima iname hivyo vyote. Anyway. I'm not saying it's bad, but ni hizo tu behaviors mtu anashindwa, you are not that person.
Yeah, sure.
And also there is something you can't see. You're in that bubble.
It's a bubble.
Yeah,
that's the word.
there's
It's
something you can't see. All of us out here tungetaka kuuliza, but kwenye uko sahi actually sisi ndo hata we don't understand.
Yeah.
So okay.
So yeah, it's a thing to look out for over spirituality. It's very good to be religious because one thing we define spirituality is that sense of belonging. It is the thing that gives you a sense and a purpose for life. What makes you comforted even when you go through a hard time? That's the aspect of spirituality. Spirituality is not necessarily religion. It just means that purpose for life. So what is that thing that gives you a sense of belonging? What is that thing that gives you hope? You know, people can stay around 40 days without food. People can stay around maybe 3 days without water. But with lack of hope, you cannot even survive. So that's the element of spirituality. It has to, too much of something is poisonous. So it has to have a balance. How much are you neglecting your needs when you're hopeful? How much are you also hopeful, but then it's not realistic? It's just not realistic. You have to have a boundary. So it's good to look out for that.
And I feel like Aki, majority of us now, as this collective session,
yes,
we have unrealistic hopes.
Yeah.
Like we've been sold to.
Yeah, sure.
Actually, it's not like, and I think the people doing it are gaining
from it, definitely.
Yes. So mimi nime lose hope completely. So if you tell me I can be like you in the next few months, you mean what do I need to give you? I just need to I'm going to do it.
Yeah, sure.
So as long as there's hope, I'm going to do whatever you tell me to do.
Yeah.
So I feel like most of us are there.
Yeah.
But now in such a case where most of us are there, how now do we protect our peace?
Good.
Like our inner peace? Because ukweli tume lose hope.
That's true.
But we don't want to get there. We also don't want to live in a bubble.
Yeah, sure.
So we want to be real.
Realistic.
We agree. The government is frustrating us.
That's
Our
true.
leaders are failing us.
That's true.
The economy is
oh my goodness.
huku juu wanapigana superpowers.
Sure.
So there's nothing to
Yeah,
smile about.
true.
But we really want to protect
ourselves.
the little that is left. Yeah.
We start first by analyzing how have you changed. And I don't even want you to go to 6 months ago. Just look at it in the past 2 weeks. How has your behavior changed? It's a new month. How has your behavior changed? It's the second half of the year. How has your behavior changed? And when I look at behavior, I'm also looking at your thought patterns. How much have they changed? Are you leaning more towards reality, too much reality, or detached from reality? What are the dominant thoughts in your mind right now? As a woman, what are the dominant thoughts in your mind right now? With aware of everything, what are the dominant thoughts? As a man, we just celebrated men's mental health. As a man, how much has your behavior changed over the past 2 months? Did you gain anything? Did you have new resolutions maybe for your mental well-being? How much has your behavior changed? We are stopping. We're not looking at it from what are the things that influence your behavior. We're saying, how has it changed? Start evaluating it there. Why do we do an evaluation as the first thing? Because that helps you know what you need to address. Is it the friends? Is it the content you're consuming? Is it rest? Rest is very important. Are you constantly looking for money that you're not even resting? Are you constantly in so many issues, situationships, dysfunctionalities that you're not even having time to just breathe? It's time to evaluate how much has your behavior changed, aware of your thought patterns, emotional well-being, spirituality. We've defined what spirituality is. Financially. Finances run everything we do. How much has your behavior changed? How much have your thought patterns changed in alignment of all these aspects?
I love that. I love that because what I'm going to tell again, kwa hii session yetu, hata kama there's nothing to analyze in the last 2 weeks, have this episode.
Yes.
At the end of this month of July, analyze, evaluate that.
Correct.
Hata kama sahi June, because June has been toxic.
It has.
Like,
that's for sure.
Imetumiza. So maybe June utakuwa tu negative, a lot of bad things. But at the end of July, ebu evaluate yourself sasa. As compared to last month.
Mhm.
At the end of this month,
Yeah.
Ebu now tick the boxes she's asking.
Mhm.
How has it been mentally, like
Yeah.
sleep-wise,
Yeah, sleep,
friends, money,
money-wise, spirituality, that is hope for life. And do you know your purpose? Look at it also from environmental. Place uko. How proud are you? How comfortable are you in that space? Because it matters a lot. Look at it even in the morning when you're in a rush. How do you leave your space looking like? So that is, are you proud of the place you come to? Does it feel like a heaven for you? That's another dimension of mental well-being, your environment. It matters a lot. Emotion makes sense. Finances make sense. But even environment, it plays a huge role. So look at it. Environmentally.
They're the tiny things, the
Every
small
aspect.
things that you will assume easily.
Sure.
Sinaenda job,
Yeah.
takuja hapa jioni,
Kwani.
hii sink,
Nini, hizo vyombo zimekuwa hapo.
nitaosha.
Nita
Hizi nguo zimeweka kwa hiyo bed, hizi nitakunja next week.
Correct.
So the small
It's
tiny
those
things.
tiny things.
So hapo kwa evaluating, I think hapo nataka sana, cause you've used a very good example. Don't even use the last 6 months.
Yeah.
The last 2 weeks.
Just 2 weeks.
But here we are. Let me give you like personal example.
Yeah, sure.
So if I'm to evaluate my goals for this year and where we are right now, I have ticked maybe out of 10, maybe 5. But then at the same time, with what we are having right now, I'm not happy about it.
Good.
You get it? So if it were maybe last year, but not even last year, the other year, I'd be like, oh my, I'm so happy. Hata celebrate my wins, ningekuwa na celebrate. But right now, June babies washaboeka.
I know.
June babies do not want to hear anything about birthdays. Because June has become this, there's a dark cloud, you know, like
sure about it.
So mtu anakwambia 2 years sija celebrate birthday yangu.
Yeah.
Because
God,
even if you want to celebrate the wins,
the environment. Correct.
Exactly.
Does
so
not allow
even
you
if
to
I
do
want
so.
exactly, even if I want to say, oh my God, today guys, I want this, the environment. We are
Does
saying
not allow you
hashtag
to.
justice for I don't know who next.
Every now and then, every 5 minutes.
Now there's a hashtag dash.
Yeah.
So how am I going to celebrate?
Oh my goodness. It's a sad place. Honestly, I'd say it's a sad place. But this is what I'll also say, Cele. You can never, kuna hiyo msemo, always make time for enjoyment, because problems will always bring themselves. Hizo you don't even plan at you're cooking for problems. They'll always come. Bring them. Hey, and come with the generations. This is what I'll say. Change that notion. Just stop. As of now, in the next 5 minutes, change it. Celebrate everything you set yourself out to achieve. June babies, unfortunate June imeisha. But this is what I'll say. Make sure you do something for yourself. There's 5 love languages. It could be acts of kindness to yourself. I'm not talking about people.
Yeah.
There is gifting yourself. There is affirming yourself. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Affirm. I set this resolution. I achieved it. Yeah. Affirm yourself. The world is falling apart. It will always fall apart. But the end of it all, we're not going to make it alive. So what do you want your soul to feel at the end of whatever life should look like? Affirm yourself. If you can be able to even give yourself some physical touch, hug yourself, embrace yourself, wear a nice perfume that every time you just smell yourself, you're like, I like that. Be in something you love to be in. Dress nicely, eat a nice meal. Always affirm yourself. The world will always have problems. Yeah. But the world will not ever put something at you, let's celebrate you. It's for you to demand what you want your universe to give you. So challenge. Celebrate everything you did. I had a friend who celebrated her birthday. Yeah, in the middle of after a month, we were actually looking at, should we change our plans because of the mandamano? No. You are alive. Celebrate that day. Now. The world may be fighting. Yeah, we want to go solidarity, but you've also been fighting for your life to stay alive. Celebrate yourself. Change that. Yeah, just change that.
I love that. So now those ones are celebrating their wins, then there are this huge group that is financially unstable, unemployment. I hear that. How do they still maintain their mental well-being? Because we've talked about finances playing the part of the biggest.
It's a bigger role.
Because when you tell me to celebrate myself, dress up, you know,
sure.
if I'm not some money everywhere. So this person who is financially unstable, how can he or she celebrate?
I love that.
You know, because you're alive, as you've said, you're alive.
You're alive, alafu hii maisha ni ya nini if I have no money. I think the first thing we want to look at, it doesn't always have to be expensive. It doesn't always have to be attached to money. A hug, is it attached to money? Talking to someone, it could be if you're in a good relationship with your parents, or like just that one friend, yani ule tu mtu wako unajuanga, this is my person. It's not expensive. It could be hapo within mtaa. It could be someone you might have to call. Yeah, that may need you to buy minutes, but it's just, what can you find that is still, it's for free. Money
still
is
within your means.
Still within your means. Money is an element that makes everything smooth. But what if I have the money, I can splash it and still not be in Dubai or Maldives and not enjoy that place? What is that thing that makes that person not enjoy being in Maldives? It's the inside, the emotional, the social support system. And also, why am I doing this trip? Is it for people or is it for myself? Is it for a rewind or is it to look like I have it all together? That's why I'm saying money is a fast. It's good.
Money is
but
good,
start with the things that are accessible to you. It could be your social support system. It could be your purpose for life. What is pushing you? You may not have money for now, but it's not forever. That's one thing I keep saying.
That's
if
true.
you're putting in the right effort, you won't be unemployed forever.
That's
and
true.
What is even employment? It's for you to define what it is. But I'm looking at it from a point of, I'm looking at employment because it facilitates my well-being. So I'm saying it's not a forever situation. Please remind yourself that you won't be in that space forever.
That's
so
true.
Now while you're there, enjoy the social support. If people want to celebrate your birthday, if someone wants to help you do your nails or your hair, or as a guy, it's just a guy calling you out for what? A conversation, maybe accompanied by drinks that they're paying for. But just look at it. What are those things coming in just natural without the element of money attached to it? Start there. And put in the right effort. That situation is not permanent. So that is the element of what? Hope. Hope is not expensive. It's not. Hope is just that willingness inside. It's something you can tap inside you. And maybe you're thinking, sina hata hiyo hope, but this is what I'm going to use. It won't be forever. And I'll emphasize, that situation will not be there forever. It will change. The question is, what are you doing about it? It may not be what you want to do for a career, but it's something coming up that can give you something for that week. Anza hapo. If you're able to afford your meal for what? 150 shillings, for example, anza, just kule hiyo ugali na uikule with the pride that this is what I was able to get. Tomorrow you may be eating meat. Who knows? It's the effort you put in and the hopefulness of what tomorrow may look like. So yeah,
I love how you're emphasizing it, because mimi when I watch myself niki-emphasize kitu na kuanga ni kama nasikia kuachapa. You're saying it very softly, but that's the point. Like, it's not permanent, guys. How many people upata job then they're like ama wasi wangapi wako job sahi, they're like, aki nikipata tu ka free time, you know? Actually, even that person akitoka job kwenye alikuwa ama tuseme tu, there's a moment in your life you are so busy that you are looking for this free time. Now that you have this free time, sisemi ati sahi ni sahi, okay, maybe haina do,
imekuja by default,
but now that you have this free time, kumbuka the days you used to wish for this free time. Because job itarudi tena uanze kumiss free time. The cycle goes on and on and on. So now that you're in this moment right now, which I mean, I can't do anything about it. Make good use of it. Make good of it. Si kila saa kulalamika kazi. We understand money is and I love that you've said it's a social
network. Like, build on a good social network.
During COVID, social network ndo zilikuwa zinatukalisha.
For sure.
Jirani akikuja mcheke mkule mtungo, a day is gone.
Imeenda.
Mzazi akikuja mweke mattress chini, murushe miguu, mpige story, muongele,
That's it.
A day is gone.
Of course, a day is gone.
And now we miss those moments because we used to have quality time. As much as there was no money,
but
there was still
time.
this dark
and
cloud.
Uncertainty. Remember how there was so much uncertainty and the negative thoughts and things.
And we came out of that.
Survived.
I think by then nasemanga kama COVID tulitoboa guys.
Utatoboa.
Hakuna kitu wezi toboa. Like COVID was so dark.
It was a dark period.
Shutdown after shutdown, kufungua. And kufungua si ile ati Tuesday and Thursday because of maandamano. Kufungwa ya complete shutdown.
Indefinite. Especially when someone uses the word indefinite. Yani we jipange tu, we don't know what lies
until
ahead.
When. So if we came out, I think tunafaa tumalizia hapa. This will give you hope. If at all we came out of COVID, when things were tough, it wasn't about ati wale watu watufanyie hivi. Even them, nobody had control over that. You know? Una sneeze, unakunywa tangawizi juu sasa ujui kama imekushika ama
ni COVID ni nini.
And here we are. Nini nafai kushtue ingine shwali.
Yeah, we made it. I think it's a good thing because every time we'll just look at this, this is not working, or I'm in employment, now I'm looking for time, or even we're in employment and it's not enough. You will always realize the bar will always keep going higher because the demand will always be there. And it's human nature. It's okay. It's human nature to always feel like, nime buy that dream car. Okay, now I want something else.
Now I want a bigger one.
I mean, it's because the brain find monotony in that thing that you have. So always make sure you do your evaluation bit.
Evaluate.
Am I still enjoying this thing I did for myself? Am I still enjoying this space I'm in right now? What can I maximize of this space that I'm in right now to be able to just feel that fulfillment of life? It's a deep question to even ask yourself.
Can I tell you something? Na napenda hii session ilikuwa collective. A few years ago, ungeniambia about therapy. I'll be like, for what? But already sahi, in this conversation, tukianza nilikwambia aje, even me, I'm not okay.
And I liked that.
But sahi kwenye tumefika, I am far much better than where I was. I am feeling much better. Because even venye tunaongea, I'm realizing, you know what, we've seen worse.
Yeah.
We've seen worse, guys. We are not encouraging kuendelea kukua kubaya.
Yeah, sure.
But we are very strong than we think. Very strong.
For sure.
Very strong. Like venye tu umesema utapata kazi, na hiyo kazi uanze kutamani kazi ingine.
For sure.
Ama uanze kusema it's toxic, I want to quit.
Mimi nataka kujiemploy.
So unashindwa.
There will always be something.
Exactly. The bar inaendelea tu ikipanda.
And that's normal. It's human. That's the human mind. It will always be looking for a new conquest to.
So when you tell us to evaluate at this certain level where we are, look for something.
Good.
Hautakosa.
There will be something.
As much as we have that one yenye kuko juu. Here, the last 2 weeks, what have I done right?
For sure.
Where have I gone wrong?
What
so
evaluate.
Exactly.
When did you even last affirm yourself?
As little as just telling yourself, Celestine, you're doing a good job.
I've had 8 hours of sleep. Wow, that is good. I feel fresh.
Nice. Mimi acha nijiafam hapa. Tangu mwaka ianze Cele's reflection kila mwezi. Consistency.
Nice.
So you see, hiyo singeafam kama si wewe. Ningemaliza December nikisema tu
nimekuwa tu nikishoot. No, Cele, that should change. Even I myself, I'm going to affirm myself after this.
No, you can even
now. I do it now.
Do it.
I ventured into starting a private practice. And I am doing it right now.
Well
so
done.
I'm affirming myself. Now, of course, I'm making myself relevant because people need this service. But I am affirming myself that I dared to believe. And I have done it. It's difficult. You're working at extensive hours. But I'm affirming myself that I did it. And 2, that I have a very good support system. Manzi, I have been so intentional building a support system for myself. I was a recovering empath, people pleaser actually. You're giving, and you're not giving back. So I'm affirming myself for this year. I have been so intentional to invest in myself. So what are you affirming yourself for
please,
today?
Pia wewe sema kitu. Kwa hii session, please. Pia you affirm yourself. There's that little thing. As much as hakuna kazi, there is something else. you've done this year. Please
What is
jiambie
it?
And give yourself a tap.
Jipe shukrani. Ambia mwili pole.
That's true. So maybe as we continue, I'd love to be that good friend. Like I'd love to be, because as much as you're saying things are bad, and we are having people who are losing their, like say what on it's deaths after deaths.
Oh my God, yeah.
So I'd love to be that meaningful friend.
Yeah.
Some of the little things that we can do for that friend who is jobless.
Yeah, sure.
That friend who is hope imeisha kabisa.
Yeah.
Apart
Going
from
through a tough time.
Exactly.
Retrenched even. Lost a loved one.
Exactly.
Out of a toxic relationship, or even in that relationship. How do I be a good friend? A good friend has to be a good friend to themselves. You can't pour from an emptiness. So wewe ni beshte mpoa kwako, because then that way you can be able to put another person's need. Hana job, you can't put your life on hold for them, but what can you do? It's the little things that support. Maybe ni a meal a day, or just calling and checking up on them, or kumtembelea place ako, ama labda lirudi ushago because things are tough. It's just that getting in touch with them. It's important for us to keep in touch. We say no man is an island. Even an introvert, they also need a friend. They also need a place where they can be bubbly and full of life at that point. So as a good friend, you need to be aware of, it's not just, once you look inside, it's number 2, the needs of this person. So zingine, you want to take them for vacation, but all they need is rent for that month.
You know? Actually, actually, that's so true. I've seen people. You need rent. Actually, your problems are bigger than this date we are going for. So mi nakupeleka hangout na acha nimelipa bilia na wewe ulikuwa unataka tu kashope hiyo pesa umelipa kwa hii meza ungenifanya tu shopping ya nyumba ungenishikilia mwezi mzima. Lakini wewe unaniambia okay, I'm not saying it's bad, but kuna hizo moments unaangalianga you were in the situation. Mama sahi ana need diapers, shopping ya mtoto, ukimboost na hizo mwezi mzima yako sawa, badala ya kumchukua kumpeleka apigwe makeup.
Amefanywa makeup, umempeleka photoshoot, alafu after that anarudi home aje na hiyo makeup
ilikuwa ya 3,500.
Sasa anarudi aje home?
Ungembaya diapers za 3,500.
Sure.
That's a whole month.
For sure.
So I
it's
love
important
that.
to know how do I show up for this person. Either ask them, or even the little things wanasema and what would make meaning
sometimes
for them.
Even just M-Pesaing that friend.
Oh yeah,
like hii pesa ningekupeleka na chukua tu because sitaki
fanya something nayo.
Kuuliza juu utaki kunipea. Shika,
ask, imagine, ask. If you want to be there for someone, ask what you think would be relevant to them.
Kwanza hiyo ya kupeleka watu out hiyo iko kwa sana.
Alafu pia inaingia kwa the men, because they tell us ati mi hata sina do but lazima atapata drinks, lakini nikiuliza beshte yangu anibaie food hata nibaia. So that's why it's also another thing. Okay, utakunywa, alafu
that's the thing, anakunywa, unabaileo pombe, na rent hajalipa miezi mbili. Hiyo pombe mmekunywa pia mngempatia, landlord angenyamaza the next 2 months umse akijisort na angekuwa poa. But nyinyi mliona leo mchafue
ati akunywe stress zake. So it's important to
zikishashuka akumbuke tena ana rent
tena nenda kukunywa. Alafu tunasema we didn't see the signs. There were signs.
Let me ask you. Now that inaleta ile there's positive resilience and there's toxic.
Correct.
So
toxic
is this
positivity?
Exactly. So is this toxic?
Is it toxic? How do you know what something is toxic? Toxic is because it imekuwa self-defeating. Tumekunywa leo, kesho tutafanya nini? It's becoming a self-defeating behavior. That's when you know it's something toxic. Also, how do you know it's also toxic? You can't cope without that particular thing. It may make sense. Your point in home.
Home.
Does it?
So I need it.
I need this to be happy. Naitaji hii kitu ndio
if without it, I need money to be happy.
Of course.
I need money.
Without
to be money.
Ami sizi mwacha, huyo ndio happiness yangu, huyo ndio life yangu. That is now what we call toxic. They may be a support system, sikatai, but it becomes toxic when now you need that to be happy. Resilience is the ability to bounce back. Sina job, I may need that spirituality to help me bounce back, but it doesn't mean that I am ni kujidelude, unajipeleka in a reality that is not existing. Unajua hata God alisema hivi, or hata si lazima job, but you're not meeting your needs. Uko na loans, your children are not in school.
Kwa kababble.
Yule wa kwa kababble. Now that is now what we call toxic. Resilience is bouncing back. Nita hustle, nitaanza somewhere small,
nitaanza kufungua bills,
nifungue bill, niko na 300, maybe itaniskuma niende nioshe vyombo kwa ka hotel flani,
nifue nguo leo, nifanye.
That is now what we call resilience.
So for someone who is saying mi nakunywa hii stress initoke, hiyo si positive, because kesho itakuwa tu hiyo stress.
Correct.
You're not working towards solving that stress.
Na hiyo stress italeta kitu ingine. Umekunywa pesa gani?
Utaanza kunywa saa madeni
utaanza kunywa madeni. Number 2, utaambiwa wewe ule unakujanga county kunywa za watu. Of course then utaanza kusema watu hawakupendi.
It's becoming deeper and deeper. Shimo inaendelea
creates another problem and another one. Or una rely on this person to sponsor your life. Alafu kesho asipo utamwita fake friend. What are you doing about it?
So so now in this situation ya wasi wenye wako hopeful they'll get employment soon. Ako home, ameanza kubake, ama ameanza kufungua bail.
Amepika kapilau, amepeleka kwa tubiza hapo, anauza, anatengeneza kahawa.
Soko akabai nini. Ako hopeful kazi itakam. But in the meantime,
anafanya nini? That's the thing.
And by that, and I feel by doing that, hata your mind mentally, ujakufa hope.
For sure.
At least there's some small hope left.
A place to start.
Kuliko mwenye alikunywa usiku alale amke saa 9.
Ameamka kesho. Kwanza ameamka na hangover.
Aende akakunywa kafanta, jioni aingia akanunuliwa ingine.
Same cycle.
I think I now understand between the two, because I was wondering, is memes positive? Mi hapo kwa memes tuko. Hapo kwa unasemaza nikae kwa bed, unaangalia, unacheka, unajigonga na kale kasimu. Is that positive?
I think it's a good form of distraction, but number 2, after umeona hizo memes alafu,
what next?
I like it. At a part of my lunch break, when I get lunch break, ni scroll through social media, because I want to laugh, I want to see someone who took themselves to a holiday. Manze go girl, manze you struggle, good, go for that. I like to unaenda kwa meme lord, unaangalia tu leo ni hivi, hii ni relationship, hii ni ya country, hii ni ya personal. It just makes you laugh and just be like, someone actually thinks like me. It's good because it gives you the reassurance of siko peke yangu. Kama na agree na hii joke, siko peke yangu, someone else thought about it. It's a good form of distraction. Lakini sasa
for how long?
But also, and after that,
you mentioned somewhere also, whatever we are going to consume, the kind of content, isikuwe ni meme. Tumesema za dark. So
what are you consuming?
Kama ni zile memes za dispenser inameza maji pale ukiwa iko sawa.
Cheka tusonge mbele. It gives you a bit of lighten.
Okay. I think even hata wewe as the viewer, from where we started this episode up to where we are right now, I'm sure we feel like we've unpacked a little.
Yeah, sure.
We even feel lighter. Personally, sure. I feel lighter.
Me too, imagine.
Imagine even amidst everything that happened last month.
Yeah.
New month, we can laugh.
Manze, give myself a shot to another better half of the year yet. Like, intentionally make every day like valuable to you. Eat a meal you like. Talk to someone you like and feels anakufeel kapi yako. Say something positive to yourself. Just do something good for yourself.
And the fact that you mentioned, don't feel bad to celebrate yourself. Don't feel guilty. Because if you don't, who will? kama si
Sure.
wewe
Nani
utangoja tu kucelebrate,
atakuappreciate?
we will never do
We
it
will not even acknowledge that's what
and
we
you'll
will
feel
celebrate you
bad.
in a way that you feel hiyo haiku make
Haitoshi.
sense na tumekupeleka Maldives and it didn't make sense.
Exactly.
It's important for you to know what you want.
That's true. Now maybe now that we have started a new month and I'm sure most of us including me tunaweza taka a reset.
Oh yeah.
Like a reset before now we get to the end of July, we evaluate ourselves. So some simple grounding rules.
Beautiful.
Mimi kama nataka kupunguza social media time.
That is what we call sensory self-care. Imagine it's a thing. So what we when we are looking at mental health and awareness and just promoting good mental well-being, kuna concept inasemanga self-care. It's just as simple as self-caring for yourself, and it has dimensions. Tulikuwa tumeziongelea environmental, financial, spiritual, emotional, social is also an important aspect, and also we have sensory. Tulianza hapo, utajuaje mtu ako poa ni vitu amepost pale WhatsApp ama amenyamaza. Are they okay? If they used to be someone who shares, are they okay? Or all of a sudden wana post something, it means ameomoka na feel poor about life, they wanna show it. So it's good to just evaluate as a sensory a form of sensory self-care. Take time to reset. Si kila kitu social media. Ukikosa usingizi, kwanza hiyo story ya TikTok is accused a lot of time, and no offense, it's accused a lot of times. Every time someone is I don't have sleep TikTok 5 a.m. I don't, because there's a lot of content you're consuming, and there's a celebrity who had mentioned earlier on in June about how in social media we come across so many things, happy things, sad things, injustices.
All in
nowadays
minutes.
Even someone is streaming and you're like, this person actually was physically abusing someone and they are streaming that. There's a lot of things we are consuming. And let me tell you, you did an episode on emotional it was regulation or emotional healing. Good. The episode on emotional healing, and that specialist was talking about usually have 9 seconds to feel an emotion. So now look at it as you're feeling an emotion of happiness, sadness,
then you scroll,
nini,
sadness,
so that one stimulates you, this other one puts you in a low moment, so that other one deludes you, and then the other one makes you laugh. All those emotions all together, your brain doesn't even have time to process them. So it doesn't have time to digest them. That's why it's important to have what we call sensory self-care. That means withhold social media. I get it. Fear of missing out. I get it. But guess what? Imagine the world will go on and you can't catch up on everything. Take time to just
Hata while you're there, you still can't catch up.
Missing out on some other
Hata
things.
while you're there, you're missing out on what is happening on X. You will still won't catch up. So, personally for me, I feel to kupunguza.
Imagine it's important. Take time. And also look at it as, why are you posting that accomplishment on social media?
Validation.
You're looking for validation. So that means if it doesn't come from external, you won't be happy with that vacation you took. Or those flowers you got for lunch.
I keep on asking, what is the point?
Yes.
Yeah, my husband anipatie flowers. I post them and say thank you
to him. No, just in person.
Na alinipea validation.
It means you're looking for validation.
So
external. Evaluate why uko hapo social media kwa nini?
Napenda hizi likes, views. I love them. I love the views. They make me feel like, oh wow. Ni
so
kama
if
niko
you don't
special,
have them,
I'm not okay.
And that's how people are out here painting pictures of things, realities they are not living. That's why they come to us when they've been locked out of a club or that guy is beating them up. They're coming to us
because they need
that validation. And it can be also sympathy. Validation also may look in form of sympathy. You want sympathy from us. But what are you doing about that situation? So sensory stimulation, that it's good. By the way, we want to celebrate you. Also, we want to learn, mtu pelekwa out, mtu pewa flowers. We want to know that. And we want to be happy for you, but evaluate it as, what if we don't like it? Are you still going to stay in that toxic space because we think you're treated well? Evaluate, why are you even there on social media in the first place? It's a good form of income generating avenue. It's true. By the way, it's true, because we are consuming even content from places we didn't even know exist. We are, but it's a good form. But evaluate, why are you doing it?
I think hiyo nayo nililearn. I think when a while ago. Why am I posting this?
Yeah, sure.
Because as we always say again, for them to know I have 2 kids,
Yeah.
nimi niliwaonesha I have 2 kids.
True.
For them to know I live in Ruiro,
True.
nimi
It's you who
niliwaambia.
chose. Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
me to choose what I want to tell
For
them.
sure.
So
Yeah.
why am I telling them
Why?
this?
Yes. What are you looking for?
What am I
What
looking
is
for
the
when I
end
tell them
result?
that my husband gave me flowers? For them to say I received flowers.
Or your
Why?
man is what? Romantic. So that I meet criteria of what a good man should look like. You need to evaluate why you're doing it. So withholding from that, a lot of social media and nini, it's very important. And number 2, because it also helps. Imagine in psychology, we usually say you need at least a day where you lazy. Okay. So, and lazing, what are you doing while it's just resting? You're not cleaning or nini. It's just chilling and letting your brain just rejuvenate and detox itself. So it's also important because when you withhold from all this stimulation, it helps your brain to just naturally reset itself. It's that important. It's just a time to chill. And maybe it may be listening to music or washing your utensils. It's important because that stimulation, all of that fast-paced nini is rewiring your brain. So it's important. And imagine what, there's also outcomes. Like some of the mental illnesses we are seeing right now are also as a result of the things we consume on social media. And that's just how realistic it is. So it's important for you to know, what am I predisposing myself into? Nimejieka hapo for how long? And how much is it impacting me? It's important for you to evaluate. So take time off social media. It could be a day, it could be 2 weeks. And I like it that I see some people, I'm like, I sent this message 2 weeks ago. It's a reel I shared. And why are you responding to this 2 weeks later? Oh, they've been taking some time off from that. I love it. I'm like, yeah, that is really good, because now it helps you feel in another cup. It's an emotional or a social, or it's even time to just get your house in order.
That's true.
Just takes time off social media. That's one of the things you could do. And then also we are talking about environmental self-care. Look at the environment you're in. How much is it feeling into you? Do you love the curtains you have in the house? Do you love the table or the seat you're sitting in? Hata kama you don't like it, you're doing something to sit in a coach you like. Ukiingia kwako, you're like, my heaven, right? Yeah. If it's someone in the house that is making you upset, could be a partner or a sibling, have a conversation with them. These things you do that don't make me happy, and I'd want you to make an improvement on them. Make sure the place you're coming back to environmentally is fulfilling for you. When the world is beating you out there, do you have a safe haven to come back to? Look for that. And that's why we're looking at resilience and toxic positivity, or a toxic coping mechanism. It's important for you to evaluate that, the environment you're in. Number 3, the social support system. Are your friends filling into your cup? Do they encourage you? Do they validate you? We need that validation. We do. So do you have friends that are validating you? It's important for you to look at it. If you're in a friendship that makes you live a lifestyle that is not your own, living outside your means, it's time to just make peace with it. Imagine you'll survive without them. Just work on a boundary, okay? Work on a boundary that works for you, and make sure this social support fills into you. Financially, we've talked a lot about employment and how to build up. So that is also a form of self-care. Financially, what are you doing? Live within your means. Budget. Look for other income generating things. Build into your mental well-being. Like, I need a skill. Learn that skill. Do something with that skill. It will give you so much meaning and value for your life. Do that. It's important. Another form of self-care, spiritual. What is your purpose for life? Do you know your calling? Do you know your strengths, your abilities? What things come natural for you? It's a time to evaluate ourselves. Feed into that emotional well-being and spiritual well-being. Number 5, which is emotional. Control your emotions. Some of us are very happy beings, and it's okay, but it can also be annoying for other people. So be aware of your environment. You know, like, it's good. You're like, a bubble
You're
of happiness
excited.
and everything, but read the room.
That's true.
And also, if it's a positive emotion, also look at anger. I usually say emotions are meant to be felt, and there's no bad emotion. It's what you do with the emotion. If I'm too happy and I overpromise, it's a problem. If I'm too sad and it's making me neglect my responsibility, that's a problem. So emotional self-care just means regulate yourself. Don't give an excuse. I'm usually irritable. I bet you because I'm like this, you provoked me. No, control your emotions. Be in control of the things that spike you. What are your triggers? Be aware of them. Every time I see this person, I make bad decisions because they make me happy and delusional. Be in control of your emotions.
I feel like controlling your emotion is another level, like of maturity and understanding yourself. Because knowing that when I do this, I behave like this. You umejijua. You really understand yourself very well. Also, I also feel like being able to read the room, being able to think of others before you think of yourself, because I love you yenye umesema the people when they are too happy they forget to read the room.
They do.
Reading the room is a skill.
Imagine it's under emotional intelligence. We teach people
it's
to actually be aware of other people's emotions and just in that room, is that necessary? Do you want to people come to us with problems, and I'm a believer, I said that. So sometimes you're filling them with the scriptures. This person said they are hungry. Now I'm telling him about how God provides for the birds. Read the room.
Buy them
this
food.
This person needs something. I may not provide. I'm not saying provide for them. I'm just saying it's try to see. And also pia kuna people who take advantage. So also that is reading the room. There are people who will take advantage. So know how to have your boundaries when it comes to this outside people, because that's an external trigger. Be aware, because that helps you stay in control.
Okay, that's a whole level of self-awareness. You're si rahisi. You're si rahisi. So maybe because we all agree personally, here we agree. I hope ya viewer wetu wanakubaliana, but we all agree that aki therapy, mi kama kitambo ningesema therapy but right now even with just this conversation therapy is really needed. And well, to most of us therapy is affordable, so maybe just tell us, are there because I feel like I would love to talk with you more and more, because I feel lighter. Nimecheka. When you came in we were like manze
tumechoka. I love the word you use, tumechoka.
So
and me too, nimechoka.
so seeing us laughing clearly indicates therapy. It's important to have it once in a while. So maybe wenye tu wako affordable.
Wenye tuko affordable.
Ama wenye tunaweza pata.
Because you remember when COVID came and the president at that time came up with a body for mental health, to make mental health accessible. So we even have a mental health act that came out recently, beginning of this year, that one decriminalized dying by suicide, from the word committing suicide. Committing is a crime. So we look at it as dying by suicide. Why? Because in your right mind, would you want to take something, to take your life away? No, you wouldn't. It means there's something going on behind the scenes. So that's why we did that. So even on that line, what did it mean? It meant mental health can become accessible. All facilities can bring in mental well-being. Even a level 5 hospital, kule mashinani, they have a level, it's a level 5 level 5 hospital, they have a psychiatric wing where you can find the help. And in case those medics in that environment are not able to support you, they usually refer you to a place you can get the help. So now the help has come closer. That's the point I was drawing to. And now the Kenya Red Cross, they work 24 hours and they offer free therapy.
Oh, the helpline number.
Yeah, that if you dial it, and it's anonymous. That means if you choose to just have a conversation with someone without having to, follow up with it using your name and just, you don't want people to know that's how you've been feeling, that's what it means, anonymous. They can support you from wherever you are with whatever you choose to be.
What's the number?
We will put it because I forgot that number. I should have crammed it. So now we have, I'd say Kenya Red Cross, because I have seen what they do and I know it's nini, because we also have other places where they tell you it's free.
Then the hidden charges.
And also the quality. Because it's important. Therapy
at least tunaweza sema Red Cross, because
Kenya Red Cross is a big body. It's recognized and it's an NGO. So you will find that help. But if you're able to afford it, nowadays even insurances have made that nini for psychiatric care. So if you have an insurance, you're privileged to have an insurance. We usually have a cover that covers for psychiatric. So that means that is therapy, and in case you need medication, because after there's talk therapy, and then there's now the part where you need medication to help you. So there's also that. So even insurances have tried to come to a place where they can help with that. There's other places, so maybe we can do a follow-up and put them.
But also, is it possible if we share your details?
I'm practicing therapy, so yes.
Good.
Yeah,
Aki, cause mi nimepata free services. I hope pia viewer amepata, because personally Aki, na si kukuchocha, I feel lighter.
Oh, beautiful. Glad to hear that.
I feel like, okay, my cup has been filled. It
was
was running dry. Ilikuwa inaisha. So sahi I feel much better. Maybe so as we end it, just one last word of encouragement.
Oh, nice.
Maybe mse amewatch, ameandika notes, ako sawa, key points zote, but you've given us by the lot of words of encouragement. Hata hii ni kukurusha tu because you've said almost everything. Ni ile tunataka tu parting shot yako. And also guys, if Red Cross utaki kupiga Red Cross utaki, we are going to give her details. If you want her, specifically her, we are going to give you her details, then mta reach out, awaeleze. But from where I sit, asante sana.
Karibu sana. Thank you. So as a parting shot, of course, I would like to emphasize one thing that touches on our spiritual well-being. I'll emphasize this. That problem or even that happy moment is not going to be forever. We said mental health shifts from one point or another. The thing that helps us push through is how we choose to look at it, our attitude, our personality, our strengths, our social capital. Those are the things that help us push through a hard time. And if it's a good moment, those are also the same things that help us affirm that moment and even appreciate it. So it's not forever. It's what you do while in that moment. That's the first emphasis. And number two, this is what I'll say. It's okay to not be okay. We hear that a lot. It's okay to not be okay. So normalize that you're in a space that you don't feel okay. Your mental well-being is affected. The country is falling apart. But what is this thing that is affecting you, and how much is it affecting you? Take charge. It stops being a problem for the country and it starts being, how much am I going to gain control for my mental well-being? How much am I going to put a boundary for my mental well-being? If you want to be in a good space, it starts with the effort with you. If you also allow that environment to keep you there, you will also feel the impact. So it's okay to not be okay, but also it matters what you do while you're in that space. And the last thing I like to say, we are all capable of living a fulfilling life. You can actualize the time God has given you on this earth. You can actualize living in it and being happy and impact the world. We are all capable of doing that. We just need to tap a little bit into it. So it's okay to see a professional. It doesn't mean you've lost your head. Seeing a professional doesn't mean umechizi. It just means you're looking for a professional friend. If I want to learn how to bake, if I don't feel the stigma to take a course and spend some money at it, why not invest in yourself? Why not have a professional friend who'll No. Psychologists don't advise. What we do is we work within the resources you have to make sure you lead a fulfilling life. So it's okay to invest in yourself. It will always take you a long way. And you don't have to be in therapy forever, but the things you learn in that 1 year can help you lead another 50 years of fulfillment. So reach out. We're here to help.
Guys, acheni tu nisiongezee kitu ingine. I love how she's ended that show. So invest in yourself. Okay?
Yeah.
Till next time. Bye.
Bye.